Welcome back to the best 10 ever, where we give you the best 10 minutes you ever spent. So today, an important topic that I want to talk about is how we involve our children in our journey of consciousness. And this kind of came to me in several different ways, which is why I found it important to start to talk about. It came to me yesterday when me and my son went to see Hidden Colors 5. And out of the almost 200 people there was only my 3-year-old, a 4-year-old, because her parents were vending, and an infant. Like, when I say infant, I mean like maybe 3 to 6 months old. And I was a little bit disappointed because I understand that just a week ago, or 2 weeks ago now maybe, like, people were running to take their kids to see Lion King. People were running to take their kids to see Toy Story. People were running to take their kids to see Aladdin. And while I love those films because they have great messages and they're child friendly, it's important to understand that we don't, as Black people, really have time to just be doing shit for our entertainment. We really don't have time to let our kids be behind to where they're just focused on watching the things that are like very child friendly and appealing. Because you have to remember that our children are not being treated like children. Our 8-year-old boys are being treated like grown men. Definitely by the age of 12, they're being treated, seen, and interacted with as grown men. And so it's important for us to make sure that we're preparing them with that knowledge early. Even myself, for example, with my son, he's only 3, and I knew when I took him to the movie, like, he wasn't going to be able to sit through the whole movie and pay full attention. But for about the first 30 minutes to an hour, he was observant. And I mean observant, like he was even saying things to me about what he was seeing and asking questions about what he was seeing. And so for me, it was like, even if he couldn't understand the full 2 hours, or even if he couldn't understand everything that he saw, the impact was being made. For people who have older children, this is no shade, but there were people there that I know have high schoolers. And I'm like, why are they kids not here watching this? It's summertime. They don't got school tomorrow. So why are they not here watching this film so that instead of them having to go through the same processes that we've had to go through as adults of unlearning information and then relearning information, they got it now. They got it now. They don't have to wait until they're grown to get it and to understand it. And I think that that's important for us to make sure that we're doing. Like, while we're on our journey, take them with you. We come from a society and a culture where they have like this, oh, well, that's not for children. You know, they not ready for that. Keep them in a child's place. And our kids end up being behind. And we talk about this shit. When we become adults, it's not a single adult person that I've met that don't say something like, well, my parents ain't teach me about credit. My parents ain't teach me about paying bills. They ain't talk to us about money. And now we have the opportunity to do something different because we're conscious, we're woke. We understand that that was a fucked up way of raising us. That's a messed up way of raising our kids, but we're repeating the behaviors. You don't just teach your kids the money, you teach them the knowledge. And you teach them while you learn it so y'all can learn together. I think a lot of times people become afraid that because they don't fully know the answers, that their children challenging them in those answers is going to create a problem because you're used to being that adult and being able to say that you know it all and you want them to have that trust in you. But it's important that you show them what research looks like because there's going to be a time where they have to do it themselves. So let them ask you questions and feel free to say, I don't know, but then show them what you do to know it. Show them how what you're saying that you're doing and what you're learning and what awakening looks like. Because life is a constant journey of developing your knowledge and your understanding. So you have to show them what that process looks like. You have to show them how to keep doing that because ultimately you are the teacher and that's your student, but a good teacher will always prepare their student to surpass them. And how can your child surpass you if you're not making sure that they're learning everything you know at the same time you know it? So that when you pass on, they passed you, baby. They passed you. That's what we need. And that's not just in the knowledge and the education. That's in the healing. I do a lot of healing circles, and I tell my women, make sure you let your daughters and your sons see what it looks like to heal. In our community, we've been taught this, oh, this strong black woman. I've never seen my mama cry. I've never seen my mama struggle. Well, damn. We know as adults, or I know as a woman, it's plenty of times I done cried. It's plenty of times I done struggled. It's plenty of times I've been hurt. Can you, and you as an adult, you know that your child is going to have those times. You know that. You know your child's going to face struggle. Your child's going to face crying. Your child's going to face hurt. Your child's going to face heartbreak. And instead, you don't let them see you in that position. But if they don't get to see it, how will they know that it's normal? If they don't get to see it, how will they know how to handle it when it's their turn? How will they know how to deal with those things? How do they know what healing looks like if you don't show it to them? You are their teacher. You gonna let an R&B song tell them what healing looks like? Are you gonna show your baby, this how I sage and smudge down? This how I remove the energy of outside sources that were affecting us. This is how I cleanse in the bath and get rid of anything that was affecting me and any energies that I took on from people that I knew did not serve me. This is how I heal us through the food so that we can open our minds and let our spiritual being flow with freedom and ease. How do they know that if you don't show them that? I remember I used to be scared to date. I used to be scared to date because I didn't want my son to see what it was going to look like if I had a breakup, or what it was going to look like to be attached to somebody and then have to move on from them. And then a good friend told me, he said, Ja, it's important for your son to get to see what it looks like for you to be loved. Because black men, sometimes when they're raised by black women who don't allow themselves to date, they never get to see what it's like for a black woman to be loved on. They never get to see how a black man should love on a black woman and how a black woman should love on him. How will they know if we don't show? And then I had to accept from that conversation, if I go into a relationship and it doesn't work, how will I show my son what it looks like when you have to depart from relationships? That's whether it's friendships or lovers, family even. What does it look like to go through that process? And it's been interesting because even though my son is only 3, he's had to depart from friendships. He's had friends at daycare when he stopped going to like a small home daycare. He doesn't see them anymore. He still asks about them. Well, let me show you how to heal from ending friendships. Because everybody you won't know forever. It's our responsibility to teach them that. And we can't treat it like it's some scary shit. I have had people tell me over and over, oh, I used to smell sage and incense growing up, but I never knew what it was being used for. And now I'm learning. And I have to ask myself, what, damn, like your mama, your grandma was fucked up because they was in there doing magic this whole time and didn't even tell you what they were doing, how to do it, what it was about. And had you learned it when you was a little girl, you would be on a whole nother level spiritually. And so I'm saying that to say, like, it's important for us to make sure that we are teaching our babies along this journey. You cannot ostracize them from this. This is not that other stuff that they was teaching us and we knew it was wrong anyway, so we tried to keep our kids from it. This is the right stuff. This is the stuff that we need to pour into them, that they need to see, that they need to experience, that they need to cultivate. With that, I want to challenge all of my black event planners, promoters. When y'all have events, I've seen Derek Grace do this. When at Comedic Science Institute, back in December, we brought Dr. Laila Africa and we did this. Children need to be free to come to these events. I know y'all gotta make money. But it's important for us to make sure that our babies are getting this knowledge. School is free and they giving them the bullshit. School is free and they giving them the bullshit. I need y'all to make space for the babies. Now, if y'all gonna feed them, because we fed them and had caretakers and all of that, so we charge like $10 so we could make sure that we feed the kids. But if it's just like, yo, just bring the babies, yo, y'all need to make space for these babies. Because even though they're not getting all of the knowledge, they're getting something. And it's our responsibility as a community to be able to pour that into them. Because before I made this video, I had to even acknowledge, like, well, you know, some parents might not have brought their kids last night just because the tickets were $20, $25 and they couldn't afford to bring, you know, 2-3 kids and drop $150 or drop $50 even. But also to the parents, you know, we make sure that we spend money on other stuff. You know, I had to address myself. I made sure that even though my son is 3 and his season pass to Carowinds is free, I made sure that I bought my season pass so I could take him, so he could go. So we spend money on that. So we got to spend money on the important things too. We got to make sure that we have it all balanced. But again, it can't be like, yo, I'm keeping them away from this. I'm keeping them away from this. It's just me. Yo, y'all gotta let the babies in. Y'all gotta let them in and let them teach you some shit, okay? Because you'll be surprised. They ready. With that being said, I'm out of my 10 minutes. I hope that you enjoyed what I said. I hope that you learned something and that this was the best 10 minutes you ever spent. Peace and love, family.
Yeah.
So we got some sweet grass.
It's some crystal.
Yeah, we did. We got a crystal.
Yeah, we got crystal for the store.
Do you remember what that one's called?
It calls a healer.
That's right. It is called a healer. It's called a golden healer stone.
Yeah, that's a golden healer you brought from the store. Look, it can bounce like jade.